You are now running wild with the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world. You are running wild with the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world. And I'm your host, the Kyle Wells, aka WellsMania. And joining me is Stone Payne Productions, Payton Payne. And Payton, no, this was not going to be an ASMR episode of WellsMania Podcast. I'm a new dad now. So I've got a son. We'll get to that here in just a second. So I'm trying to find a good level of my booming pipes because I don't want to be too loud because I'm pretty sure he's trying to take a nap in the other room. But Peyton, a lot has happened since the last episode of WellsMania Podcast in more ways than one. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to every single one of you for reaching out to me on whatever social media platform and congratulating my wife and I on our baby boy. And in case you missed it, John Cena delivered a welcoming message to our son, Theodore Caden Wells. Your time is now. So, Peyton, when you and I went to Chicago to see John Cena, finally, that was the video that I had him do for my son. And let's face it, right now he definitely did that for me, but somewhere down the road I'll eventually show that to my boy, and hopefully he will appreciate it as much as I do. So thank you, John Cena, for just being you, man. Genuine, greatest of all time. Peyton, what were your thoughts when you finally got to see the video of my son's name delivered from the GOAT?
More shocked that it was actually real, because you didn't show it to me the day that it happened, because I was with you and I was like, did it really happen, or is he just pulling my chain? But no, it was real. You got it. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, no, because I wanted to keep it a surprise. You know, my wife and I, we knew our son's name obviously a few months ago. And of course, everybody kept asking, do you have a name picked out? Do you have a name picked out? And I said, yes, we do. John Cena will be the one to let you all know what his name is. So I just thought it was really cool. Definitely something that I will cherish then, now, forever. But yes, Peyton, I'm a new dad. Got it on my hat right here. This is my dad hat. Speaking of dad hats, you can go to, check this out. This is the official dad hat of the WellsMania podcast. You can get this at brainbustertees.com, and everything you buy will support my family and I. Now more than ever, with the holiday season coming up, if you're looking for the perfect gift for that wrestling fan in your life, go to brainbustertees.com, buy them some WellsMania merch, and while you're there, buy them some Stone Payne Productions merch as well, because Peyton, you also have a shop on brainbustertees.com.
I do. Yes. My shop is officially open. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
Have you been flagged yet on TikTok live stream for ever talking about your merchandise? Because
Yes.
I have been flagged twice.
Yes. So you have to be very careful promoting websites that are not affiliated with TikTok. Now you can like if you're gonna be on TikTok live and you want to just briefly mention that you have brainbustertees.com, just say it one time and then move on from it. And if you show something, show it briefly and then pull it off and do not put it back on, because
no, they don't like it.
They do not. And because they want people to go shop in their TikTok shop, which, by the way, you can go to Peyton and I's showcases. Peyton, do you have a lot of stuff in your showcase?
I have a few things. In fact, earlier today, I was trying to apply for some free samples of some stuff. I know you've been doing a lot of that.
Dude, TikTok has been hooking me up. As a matter of fact, you want to see what they just sent me something. You want me to open it right here, right now?
Go for it.
So this is from the TikTok shop. It's a free sample. And if you're not familiar with what TikTok shop is and free samples, you submit requests and they send you free product. Now, in return, you have to go on your personal TikTok and create a promo, something that Peyton and I do better than anybody else. So I have no idea what's in here. Oh, dude, you're going to love this one. So this shirt is pretty much impossible to find when it came out. So Combat, what was this? Combat Wear on TikTok shop. Look at this, Payton.
You got it. You actually got it.
Now, of course, this is not WWEshop.com, but this is the next best thing, because when this NFT shirt came out, you had to spend $1,000 to get it. And let's face it, hardly anybody bought it when it came out, what, 5-something years ago?
Yeah.
So I got it. I got it for free from the TikTok shop. So all I have to do is go on my TikTok and cut a promo. Look at this, dude.
That's awesome. I'm glad you got that. So, it's got all the titles on the back. That's sick. No, I'm just now starting to, I want to start doing my showcase more. So that's why today I think I applied for like 4 or 5 different things to see if I could get samples. How long does it usually take to get approved for the samples?
Dude, they are super quick. Like, now, just be prepared. You will get denied. That is very normal. Sometimes there isn't enough product for that company to put out. And here's something else that's really funny. You will receive invitations daily. And even when you go to accept those invitations, even though they invited you to collab with them, they will still deny you, even though they reached out to you and said, hey, we will send you this shirt. And then when you say, okay, you can send it to my address, and then all of a sudden you get a notification saying it has been denied. And you're like, what the hell? They were the ones that reached out to me. Like, so just prepare yourself. Don't take it personally. But the more you do it, like the more you get involved in the TikTok shop affiliate program, they start seeing that. And then they're like, okay, I want Stone Pain Productions to promo this. I want WellsMania to promo that. And dude, the videos, we make money. So if you see our videos on TikTok and you see the little shopping cart, click on it and buy the product. We get commission. Payton and I get commission. I think a lot of people don't realize this, but we are making money off of our TikToks. So it all helps. Everything helps. And there's so much stuff that you can buy on the TikTok shop showcase. So go check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, Payton. And also, you are officially in the TikTok creators program.
Yep. Finally. I should have been in it a long time ago, but TikTok, for whatever reason, decided to put me in the 200 view jail for God knows how long. So, but no, we're finally in the creator fund. So
welcome. And hopefully just be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. It is not as lavish as we thought it was going to be. It takes I call it a lottery ticket. You keep scratching off the lottery tickets. Eventually you're going to hit big or you'll win small. Take it one video at a time, but just keep putting out your content and having fun. Like, that's what people ask me all the time. They're like, how do you stay motivated in doing this? And I'm like, because I'm having fun doing it.
That's what you got to do.
If you're not having fun making your content, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. So you have to have fun doing it. And, I don't know about you, but especially me, like I've like made friends on TikTok. Like, I feel like I'm like friends with a lot of my followers.
Yeah, man.
So, you build your own little community. Like, I chat daily with multiple people that follow me, even about things that aren't even wrestling related. So, if you're wanting to get into that, find a niche that works for you, build a community, and be engaging with the community.
Yeah. That's huge. Dude, the amount of people that have messaged me on TikTok alone congratulating me on becoming a new dad has been overwhelming, but I have appreciated it. I've embraced it. I am now officially a dad of TikTok. So with all of my wrestling videos that I do, and sometimes food reviews and taste test reviews, you will now be seeing videos of my son and I. And most recently, Payton, him and I made history this past Monday night on Raw, because I don't know if you knew this, but my son was born on November 3rd at 9:27 p.m. during Monday Night Raw. How cool is that, man? My son was born during Monday Night Raw, so I missed that episode of Raw. Shout out to my badass wife.
Hold that over him forever.
I will.
Like,
I will.
Be like, I missed an episode of Raw for you.
I will definitely. He made up for it though the next week, a couple days ago. But yeah, shout out to my badass wife for going through labor. We were in labor for 24 hours, Payton. 24 hours. It's insane, man. So if you ever find someone that you want to have a kid with, just give yourself patience and grace. I can't say it enough, but as a dad, you literally you do everything for your wife. You, as a husband, I should say, you do everything for your wife. As a dad, you do everything for your son. I mean, your dad has reached out to me multiple times, which I thought has been very nice of him to do. He'll send me like dad motivation stuff. So shout out to Rick, Payton's dad, right there. But man, this past Monday night on Raw, we finally got to watch our very first episode together. Now, keep in mind, my son was only a week old, so of course he has no idea what's going on, but just me holding him and watching John Cena come out in Boston one last time and then making history by winning the Intercontinental title, finally becoming a Grand Slam champion, Payton. And the whole time it's happening, I am just rocking my son and just, yeah, Cena. Like, I'm just so excited because I've been waiting 23 years for John Cena to become an Intercontinental champion and a Grand Slam champion at that. So the fact that he's finally accomplished this, I feel like that's the last missing thing that he needed. And now I feel like his whole career is complete. Now, of course, the WWE Hall of Fame is officially like the last thing that he can accomplish. But what were your thoughts, Payton, when John Cena beat Dirty Dom to become the new Intercontinental champion?
I mean, I'm a Dom mark, so I was rooting for Dominic, but it was a cool moment, I guess, to see this, especially for the people in Boston. It was cool. I mean, my reaction is going to be different than yours because I was never the biggest John Cena fan.
Right.
But I mean, I think more than anything, it makes his final few appearances more interesting because you want to know, like, well, is he going to retire as champion? Is he going to, drop the belt before the final match, during the final match? You could even debate, like, does the Intercontinental title need to be on the line in John Cena's final match? Does it almost take away from the final match? Because, like, what's more important, John Cena's final opponent or the Intercontinental title?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you could debate all of that. Like,
right.
Or is it just an extra incentive for everybody in this tournament? Like, oh, I get an Intercontinental title match too. So I guess it really depends on how you look at it. I think for John Cena fans, it's great, because all the Cena fans wanted him to be a Grand Slam champion. So I know you were happy.
Dude, and I have been saying it pretty much all year. Remember earlier in the year when we were kind of laying out how we saw the John Cena farewell tour going? I said that Cena would win number 17 at WrestleMania, which happened. And then I said on the back half, towards the end of the farewell tour, he will win the Intercontinental title, becoming a Grand Slam champion, which happened. So it's not like I'm Nostradamus or anything, but you just kind of get these feelings sometimes, and then you run wild with them. Like the other day, and also the past couple of episodes of WellsMania, I've been laying out how I think the last couple months are going to go for John Cena. And you can go back and check the tail of the tape. But I said on an episode of WellsMania, that at Boston in the TD Garden, John Cena will beat Dirty Dom to become the new Intercontinental title. I said that a few weeks back. And then during the morning leading up to Raw, I put out on my TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all my social medias that tonight on Monday Night Raw, John Cena will become a Grand Slam champion when Dirty Dom interrupts him, and then the match gets made official. And that's exactly what happened. So I've had people flooding my social medias saying that I'm a time traveler and, I'm Back to the Future and you got the almanac. And no, sometimes I just get these gut feelings and I'm not afraid to throw them out there. And I'm not right every time, as Payton is well aware of. There have been some crazy things that I have said in the past that have been completely off, but I was dead on with this one. And I'm so excited and thrilled that John beat Dirty Dom. Now, I know for someone like you, a Dirty Dom mark, you're probably like, but I think you said this to me when I came in your live. You were like, "Oh, look, another superstar that John Cena buried," and I'm like, "Oh, Payton, Dirty Dom he'll be okay."
Hey, he no-sold the fuck out of Dom's finish, didn't he? Like, Dom needs to just change his finish now. It's pointless. It's buried. John Cena, he got that golden. He got that golden shovel out and was like, "Nope."
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He John definitely no-sold that frog splash.
No-sold it.
Yeah, I will not fight you on that one. We all saw it. We all saw it right there before our very eyes.
And this is just me from my match producer mindset. You know from WWC, that's what I do. Like, I would have probably had Dom hit it, get the pin, the ref runs in 1, 2, or even a 1 count. John then powers out of the kick out and does like a Hulk up type thing and then AAs him. You know what I mean?
It would have protected Dom a little bit more than what we did get.
Yeah.
I get that.
It was also just kind of a weird roll through because it was like a flat bumped frog splash, but then he also rolled through like he usually would with a cross body or something. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird spot for me. But
I noticed that too. I was like, is John struggling? Is he struggling here to pick Dom up?
Yeah.
But I think it was, like you said, it was just kind of the angling and the position that made it look a little bit more not as smooth as they were probably visioning it in their minds. But nonetheless, man, Raw absolutely cooked. John Cena is the new Intercontinental Champion in 2025. And
think about this, for example. I made a video about this. How wild is it that in 2025, going into 2026, we are in an era where John Cena, CM Punk, and AJ Styles are all champions on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, that is that
was
from the past.
If you'd have asked me 3 years ago, I'd have said you're out of your mind. There's no way.
Maybe even at the beginning of this year, you would have been like, all three of those guys are going to be champs at the same time.
Yeah.
And here they are.
That's crazy.
But speaking of champs, congratulations once again to John Cena on finally becoming a Grand Slam champion after 23 years in the biz. And Payton, I'm going to give you a little history lesson right here. 2004, John Cena won his first United States title, defeating Big Show at WrestleMania 20. 2005, John Cena defeated JBL to win his first WWE title at WrestleMania 21. 2007, John Cena became a tag team champion for the first time with Shawn Michaels, and they beat RKO, rated RKO, on an episode of Monday Night Raw. 2008, John Cena's first world heavyweight title win was against Chris Jericho at Survivor Series. And 2025, John Cena, first Intercontinental title win, defeating Dirty Dom Mysterio on Monday Night Raw in John's hometown. No, it was not West Newbury, Massachusetts, but his home city, so to speak, of Boston. So, and also, Payton, Monday Night Raw absolutely cooked. I mean, this was one of the best episodes of Raw that we have seen in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And it even had some of our fellow wrestling content creators who are normally a little bit more on the negative side of things, actually saying some positive and making some positive remarks and comments. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. So it's nice when
I'm not gonna name drop. I'm gonna keep my composure.
but you know who I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, we know.
But it's nice when people are actually enjoying the product instead of bashing it. Like we say this time and time again on WellsMania Podcast is just enjoy the product,
Yeah.
embrace it,
I mean,
and stop being so critical about everything.
it's look, here's the thing. I think you're allowed to like criticize things that you don't like. Like that's fine. Like there's things that happen that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'll even get into it a little bit later if we start talking about war games. You know, there's
Yeah.
something along those lines that personally I'm not the biggest fan of. But there's a lot of these people I feel like that thrive on negativity in the IWC where
Too many people.
I don't even know if that's even their real opinion. I just feel like they're choosing to close their mind off and view it in a negative way. You know, it's like people that go online and write movie reviews that have never even seen the movie and they just choose to write a bad review because they know that it'll get more clicks than writing a good review. You
Yeah,
know?
clickbait
Yeah, like if you actually
or
open
rage bait. I think
yes,
that's what they call that.
you know, like if you actually open your mind and like watch the product and try to put the puzzle together of what you're watching and make connections and analyze the story and everything, it's actually not that bad. These people just choose to see it in a negative way, and that's why their mindset's never going to be changed.
Yeah, and you and I don't operate like that. You and I, we watch the product. Now, granted, we will have our disagreements with what we see, but we're not
Yeah.
constantly
Well, like a
bashing the product.
perfect example of something that you and I both disagreed with and didn't love was we both think that LA Knight should have won the Battle Royal a few weeks ago and faced CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. And we were both vocal
Yeah,
about that. We both
very
made it
vocal.
very vocal that we think the wrong decision was made. But does that mean I went in and hate watched Saturday night's main event? No. I
Right.
thought the main event was still really good.
The
I
show
you
was
know, I,
great.
I think that like I would have preferred what we wanted to see because I think it would have made more sense and been better. That doesn't mean I'm going to go in and hate what I'm watching. I'm still going to be open to it.
Yeah. Misery loves company, brother. There's no better way to put it. Misery loves company, and some people just get off on being negative, and they know that that is rage baiting the WWE universe because
Yeah.
people will go in and comment and engage, and essentially they are getting what they want out of it, but they're just coming off in a way where it's like you are just doing this to get a negative reaction out of people with your negativity. So, hey, to each their own. I'm not going to tell somebody how to content create, but I do want to bring up the Last Time Is Now tournament because it officially kicked off this past Monday night on Raw. Rusev defeated Damian Priest, and Sheamus defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, we know on SmackDown this week, we are getting LA Knight versus a mystery opponent, Payton. Who do you think it's going to be? Who is LA Knight's mystery opponent going to be? I have an answer. Let's
Yeah.
see if your answer lines up with mine.
I think we know there's going to be two mystery opponents. Two mystery names have been announced thus far for the tournament.
Yes, and we'll get to the other one here momentarily.
This Friday, I think you're more likely to get a name from TNA.
See where you're
And
going with this.
two names come to mind. One I feel is more likely than the other one. The most likely option, I'm feeling like it's going to be Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
I can the way Nick Aldis worded it, you know, I'm not going to say his name yet, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Joe Hendry would match the LA Knight vibe. And also Joe Hendry can come in, he can get a pop. It can be like, oh, look, a big TNA name is in the tournament, but then LA Knight can still beat him in advance.
Yeah.
Now I would prefer the person from TNA be somebody like Matt Cardona, because Cardona's actually got history with John Cena.
He sure does.
So, and I think the fans would pop for that even more than Hendry.
I know I would.
Yeah, and just from a connect, because I'm a storyteller. Connectivity is what I love. And we all remember the Zack Ryder, John Cena storyline going into WrestleMania 28, with when they were both facing Kane and Zack Ryder got pushed off a stage. And,
I was hoping you'd bring that up.
John Cena, stole his girlfriend and cheated with Eve and all that. We remember all that fun stuff. So, I would prefer Cardona, but I do think it's going to be Hendry.
Dude, I would be okay with either one, but like you, when I'm hearing Nick Aldis say that he's not going to say his name yet, I'm thinking, well, it's got to be Joe Hendry, because when you say his name, he appears. So if Nick Aldis would have said Joe Hendry's name, Joe Hendry would have popped up right there. But pushing the suspense and then saying his name when LA Knight is pacing around in the ring, wondering who his opponent's going to be, that's going to, like you said, it's going to be a nice pop. But dude, what the hell is going on with LA Knight, man? Like, why is WWE not pushing this guy?
Well, and here, here's, now that you bring up LA Knight, and this will be a quick transition because it kind of does fit, and then we can get back to the tournament. The thing that I was talking about earlier is I don't love Cody Rhodes' involvement in the War Games match, because I don't think that he fits the storyline very well. Like, literally a few weeks ago, he cut an entire promo about wanting to be done with the drama on Monday Night Raw, but then 2 weeks later, he shows back up and immediately reinserts himself into the drama of Monday Night Raw.
Cody Rhodes lives for the drama.
But it's like LA Knight's been feuding with the Vision for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Why is he not, you know what I mean? Like, he fits more than Cody. He's been feuding with these guys for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand.
I'm right there with you, man. Make it make sense. Why wouldn't you have a guy like LA Knight be on that babyface War Games team?
Yeah. Especially when he's in a feud with all of them.
And he possibly could still be added to it, but just the fact that he wasn't backstage with Punk and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, it's kind of like, why are we leaving LA Knight out of the mix?
I don't know. I just feel like you've got someone like LA Knight who's already involved in it, and then, okay, we're going to push him to the side and shoehorn in Cody Rhodes just because it's Cody Rhodes. I don't know. I don't love that. I mean, the teams are not fully set yet, so we're going to have to see where it goes. But as we sit right now, I don't love it. But again, we got a few weeks left. As far as the tournament goes, the other match on SmackDown is
The Miz versus Jey Uso.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, shout out to The Miz. Have you been seeing all of his promos that he's been posting? Dude,
I have.
I've been getting goosebumps, man.
And I think The Miz should beat Jey. I think Miz should advance.
Cosign on that.
And you could do it with interference from the Vision. It doesn't matter how it happens, but I think The Miz should win. I don't think Jey needs this victory.
I agree. And the road that Jey Uso is going, he needs to continue to lose, and he needs to lose that Yeet Mojo and then officially turn heel. So having him lose to The Miz is just one more thing that pushes towards that storyline. And then ultimately having him turn heel, I don't know where you do it, but somewhere here in the next month and a half before the year is over, I feel like Jey Uso will finally turn heel.
I say do it at Survivor Series.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, in that regard,
Now you could do it. You could either have him turn and cost his team the War Games match,
yes.
or you have him be the reason they lose the War Games match, and then afterwards, that's when he finally snaps.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. It's like, how do you do it? But
I think either
all of those,
option would work.
yeah, both of those make sense. And then back to the Last Time Is Now tournament, we found out that Gunther will be returning to action. He is
Yes.
scheduled to face Javon Evans.
Hey,
Sorry about you, Javon Evans.
Javon is going to have that Kofi Kingston chest by the end of that match.
Dude, they say Javon Evans is bouncy. Well, those chops are going to be bouncing right off of Javon Evans's chest.
Yeah,
And
that's
then, of
not going to be
course,
a fun night.
exactly. You brought it up earlier. Solo Sikoa will be facing a mystery opponent. Now let's speculate. Next Monday night on Raw in Madison Square Garden, John Cena's last appearance in the Garden. Who will be Solo Sikoa's mystery opponent? Who you got, Payton? What do you have cooking over there?
That is, I see what you did there. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. It's cooking. Solo posted on to bring it. You know,
I can just hear Jared, the WWE Human Encyclopedia, now just going off on us because every episode we sneak a Rock reference in there.
Yeah, we do. And I think Solo knew what he was doing there.
100%.
Will it be The Rock? No, The Rock literally just announced on social media yesterday that production for the new Jumanji film has started. So I'm pretty sure The Rock's next couple months are going to be filled. But as far as who the actual opponent's going to be, you said the major key, in that it's in the Garden. It's in Madison Square Garden. It's in the most famous arena on the planet. If you're going to have a mystery opponent in Madison Square Garden for John Cena's final match, it had better deliver under the precedent that it's in Madison Square Garden, because the Garden makes moments. So if it's not somebody that's big, and I'm going to throw it out there, the first name that's popping in my head is Chris Jericho.
Yes, sir.
It's got to be somebody on that level, or otherwise it's going to be a disappointment. I don't want some NXT guy. I don't want a TNA guy. Even if it was somebody like Jeff Hardy, I don't care. All right. Like, I love Jeff, but I don't care. That's not big enough for me to be Madison Square Garden worthy.
Right.
You know, and also Jeff's been wrestling on NXT lately. Like, that's not a total surprise. You know what I mean? It needs to be something that people will remember, that is a moment in time for Madison Square Garden. And the return of Y2J to the WWE in Madison Square Garden, that is the moment that makes the most sense.
Dude, I just came up with a great idea to go off of your great idea. So you talk about moments in the Garden. You talk about some of the most iconic images of all time, and one of them involves John Cena, which I've called my biggest mark out moment of all time, is when Cena returned at the 2008 Royal Rumble. What if we get Chris Jericho paying homage to John Cena, doing the whole look down, and then Chris Jericho looks up?
He could,
and recreates that whole animated, energetic entrance that John Cena gave us with his shocking return.
Jericho
Rumble.
That would be cool, and it would be a callback. And Jericho, and speaking of callbacks, Jericho makes sense. Jericho was John Cena's first ever pay-per-view match. So
yes,
the story is there. And, you know, Jericho is a free agent, that he's not with AEW anymore. So he's on the table. He is a viable option to be in this tournament. We know he wants to come back. He's done everything. He's said everything other than, yeah, I'm coming back. I mean,
dude, did you see his latest gym selfie?
Yeah, dude, I saw that picture and I go, He doesn't want that AEW body no more. He's coming back to the WWE. He needs to get in WWE shape.
And he is, man. He looks pretty jacked for a 50-something-year-old dude.
He can't walk out in Madison Square Garden looking like a melted candle. He's got to walk out there looking like, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
So I think if it's anything other than like something like that, I'm going to be disappointed.
There's only 3 names that I think live up to the hype and the excitement. The Rock is obviously one of them, but that's the fantasy booking.
Yeah.
Another fantasy booking that a lot of people keep throwing his name out there is Edge. Okay, that's far-fetched, but never say never.
It's so far-fetched because he's still under AEW contract. That's why it's so, and like I just don't see Tony Khan giving in and letting him come over and do that.
Unless Tony Khan and Nick Khan and Triple H and everyone else in charge of the creative and whatnot, if they can somehow work some sort of, hey, you give us Edge for a one-off, one night only, we'll give you, so-and-so for a one night, one-off only, like maybe like a Roman Reigns shows up and confronts Jon Moxley. I'm trying to think of something that would be a big deal in AEW.
I just don't think that WWE needs Edge enough to work a deal out like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's other options that are just far less stressful than trying to pull that deal together.
And I think Chris Jericho is the perfect candidate to make a surprise return in the Garden and go up against Solo Sikoa. I think that would be just a really awesome match and moment and a nice return for Y2J because I love Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, he's definitely well loved within the WWE universe. And I respect the hell out of him, dude. He's still wrestling. He's one of the last few from WCW that is still out here performing on a high level, man.
There's not many guys left from the Attitude Era that can still get in the ring and go. Jericho's one of them. So, and he's going to come back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Right.
With Chris. Right. It's just when is the right moment. And there is only 2 options, in my opinion. It's either next week in the Garden or it's at the Royal Rumble. So, take your pick.
Yeah. And if we're lucky, we might just get both. And then, of course, there will be 2 more matches announced on SmackDown for the last 4 to round out the Sweet 16 in the Last Time Is Now tournament.
Do you have any predictions for who those 4 are going to be? I feel like, how do you not have Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed in the tournament?
Exactly. I was going to throw those guys out there. I was going to throw Drew McIntyre's name out there. And then, I'm trying to think of who else would be included in the mix. But those 3 guys, 3 out of the last 4, should be a given to be in this tournament.
I mean, you would think so. Unless is there somebody else on the roster that has history with Cena that we're not thinking of that hasn't already wrestled him this year?
Yeah, because when I've posted this on my TikTok, a lot of people were saying, well, why not Randy Orton? And I'm like, we already got Randy Orton versus Cena one last time in Backlash. And then people were saying, well, why not CM Punk? And I'm like,
already got it.
We already got CM Punk versus Cena one last time.
Yeah.
And plus, Punk's the world heavyweight champion now. So he's going off in a different direction. So, yeah, man, I'm trying to think.
I mean, maybe Rey Mysterio. That could be cool.
That would be cool. And I really loved Ray and John's interaction backstage after John beat Dom. I thought that was a really touching moment. And speaking of touching, did you see Sheamus touch the Intercontinental title?
Yes.
So who knows what that is foreshadowing or whatnot. Sheamus also someone who has yet to hold that IC title and be a Grand Slam champion. So that's pretty big motivation there for Sheamus. To continue in this tournament.
We don't know everybody in the tournament yet, but as it stands right now, who is your pick to win it? Man. I'm still going Gunther. I still think Gunther is the guy that's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, I do think Gunther is the odds-on favorite to win
unless Jericho shows up. If Jericho shows up, I think Jericho wins the tournament. If Jericho does not show up, I think it's Gunther's the win.
No, I agree with that because I've said on past episodes of WellsMania Podcast, John Cena's first WWE PLE was against Chris Jericho. John Cena's first WWE PLE win was against Chris Jericho. So I think it would be very full circle to have John Cena versus Chris Jericho, and John beats Jericho to ride off into the sunset. I think that would be in my opinion, I feel like I'd be satisfied with that. Now, on your side of things, you've been no stranger saying that you can't wait to see John Cena tap out to Gunther. I don't want to see that. I'm going to cry as is, and that might just push me over the edge if that happens. No pun intended. Edge.
Like I said, it all comes down to who the opponent is. If the match is John Cena Gunther, I think Gunther should win. I think Gunther needs the victory in that case more. Now, if the match is John Cena and Jericho, Jericho can take the loss. It doesn't really affect him, and John Cena can go out on top. It really just comes down to who that opponent is. Now, if Gunther, and I think you would even agree with me on this, if Gunther is the final opponent, and you did want to run this career killer storyline, which you and I even talked about a little bit on Twitter this week, because I threw out, well, if you make the merch writes itself and let him be AJ Styles' last opponent. And you even said you threw Randy Orton's name in there.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to run with that gimmick, Gunther would have to beat Cena.
In that regard, I am okay with that because in my opinion, if you have somebody like Gunther who already retired Goldberg earlier this year, and then if he does retire Cena, those are two of the biggest names in pro wrestling. If you keep adding
to that,
and you throw AJ Styles on there, I said this is the chef's kiss, having Gunther kill the legend killer, Randy Orton.
Orton, and then even if you want to throw even more on there, Chris Jericho comes back for one more run. Let him retire. Let him retire Jericho. Let him retire Mysterio. Hell, let him retire Brock Lesnar in Minneapolis next year at SummerSlam. I mean, there's a slew of guys.
Is massive.
I mean, that's 7 or 8 guys right there that are on the table that Gunther could retire if you wanted to build that ultimate career killer gimmick.
Yeah. And WWE Human Encyclopedia, Jared Giles didn't like this idea, but I think you were kind of entertaining it. You have Gunther's graveyard at WWE World where he is mocking The Undertaker. And then you have The Undertaker show up. And we get Gunther versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I love it.
In front of a live crowd, which is something The Undertaker did not get.
I'll even add to that storyline. We're fantasy booking at this point. Let's have that happen going into WrestleMania. The last, let's say Saturday night's main event before WrestleMania, let Goldberg retire Kane. I mean, not Goldberg, Gunther. Let Gunther retire Kane. Give Kane one final match because he never got it either. Kane's final match in the WWE was that tag match we don't talk about at Crown Jewel. So he deserves one final match. Let Gunther retire Kane, which then draws back The Undertaker.
Dude,
and then you have Gunther and Taker. There's so much you could do with it.
Yeah. I mean, if WWE's listening, run with this idea because that's a money idea.
It's amazing.
But I'm so worried that Gunther's going to beat Cena and then it doesn't lead to anything. And then you look back and you're like, what was that even for?
I don't know. I don't know how you couldn't picture that storyline.
Dude, that storyline is money. That's a money storyline.
Now this is ultimate down the road fantasy booking, and then we'll move on to something else. Let's say they did this. Let's say that storyline happens. What is the inevitable end game? Does Gunther try to eventually retire someone that he can't beat? or like how do you end that because that's one of those things where like it can't be every rivalry Gunther has because there's not everybody's ready to retire one after the other. It's a long-term storyline. You know what I mean? Over years that's been told.
There would have to be somebody big enough to beat Gunther to end this legendary legend killer run. And you got to think, who would that be? Would it be Roman Reigns? I mean, who's a big enough name to be somebody that can end it once and for all? That's a good question. But I do want to bring something up to you, Payton, because earlier I had some jabroni on TikTok come at me about the top selling WWE superstars of 2025.
Yep. I believe we both made videos on that.
Yes, we did. And so in my video, I said in no particular order, but this jackass said that it's an alphabetical order, which he's not wrong. It is, but I clearly in the video said in no particular order, and I just read who I saw. And then I ranked who I thought was legit number 1 through 10. Here are the 10 superstars that are the top selling superstars of 2025. Alexa Bliss, AJ Lee, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, John Cena, Penta, Rhea Ripley, and Roman Reigns. Okay. So then I made a TikTok saying, if I had to guess, the correct order of who I thought was the top seller of 2025, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. It's John Cena. I mean, the dude had 2025 t-shirts made available on WWEshop.com. So I've got John Cena as the top selling superstar of the year. Now I'll get your opinion on this list.
And this is all speculation too. Like we don't know the actual order.
Yes, this is my opinion. And this jabroni guy just goes off on the deep end. I'll tell you what really set him off. But I got John Cena at 1, Jey Uso at 2, CM Punk at 3, Cody Rhodes at 4, Roman Reigns at 5, Rhea Ripley at 6, AJ Lee at 7, Alexa Bliss at 8, Penta at 9, and Jacob Fatu at 10.
Okay.
Do you agree? Would you move anybody around, or do you think that's a pretty good guess?
I mean, I would say that it's a decent list. I mean, I think there's an argument that could be made that maybe Jacob Fatu may have sold more than like an Alexa Bliss. I don't know. I feel like they probably, one of them is probably in the 10 spot. But yeah, I would say that's pretty close. I will say, and then I want to hear what you're thinking. The list is not totally accurate because
there's a certain somebody missing.
There is someone that we know sold enough merch that would be on this list, and they fired him, and that is Karrion Kross.
Yes, yes.
So Karrion Kross technically should be on this list because he sold more merch than like anybody for a good 3 to 4 month span, and it was recorded that it was happening.
Yeah, and WWE in the moment was even running wild with it. I mean,
yes,
Karrion Kross at one time was the hottest selling merch in the business over everybody during that span of time.
Yes.
And then, of course, he gets fired from the company or let go from the company, however you want to word it. And then WWE's like, nothing to see here, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
But this jabroni, now I've deleted the comments and blocked this guy because he's just problematic. But he told me that I was biased against the women. He said I had the women ranked way too low on the list. So, Payton, I'm going to ask you. I think me having Rhea Ripley at 6, I think that's pretty fair because I don't think Rhea Ripley outsold Cena, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns.
No, I would agree. And I'm the biggest mommy mark on the planet. And I would agree with that. Because you have to also look at it in the sense of like, there was a good chunk of the year where Rhea Ripley was injured and not even around. So, how much merch was she selling when she was on the shelf? You know what I mean?
It's a fair point.
Like, I don't see how that's sexist at all. And also,
I don't know,
like,
man.
here's what like, some people might take this the wrong way. I don't care. You have to understand the logistics of this. It's still technically the majority of the audience is still very much men. Okay.
Yeah.
And are there guys that buy the female merch? Yes. I've bought merch. You've bought merch. We do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Becky
But
Lynch, Nikki Bella,
yes. But at the end of the day,
Charlotte Flair.
the merch that the most men are buying, and we're the majority of the fan base, are the male wrestlers like the CM Punks, the Roman Reigns, the John Cenas. Those are the shirts that we're spending our money on the most.
Yeah.
So,
It's a fair point.
And that's just statistical. Like, you might disagree with it. That's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
So,
you know how these people are, man. They're going to nitpick and they're going to find any reason to come at you. Especially the more we grow, people start figuring out who we are. So we get this bigger target on our backs, and then they come nitpick us for stupid stuff like that.
And you know what my question for that guy would be? How many female shirts have you bought this year?
It's a good. I should have responded with that. Instead, I just ended up blocking the guy.
You
I still have
make
time
it like
for it.
I'd tell that guy, like, you make a video showing me all the merch you've bought from these women on this list this year and prove me wrong.
Yeah, should have. Next time I'll have that in the chamber. But yeah, man. And speaking of idiots, do you want to know how many people I had to block on Facebook who thought when I posted the John Cena video, how many people thought that John Cena was announcing that he had a kid, even though clear as day, you don't hear him say that in the video. And in the caption, which my wife brought this up, people don't comprehend things, nor do they read what is literally right in front of them. And if you watch the video and you're hearing the video, I still have no idea how people came to the conclusion that John Cena was announcing that he had a kid. He even said my son's name.
It's because people, they don't listen.
They're idiots, man.
And also, he's clearly sitting at a desk at a convention. Like, I don't know why John Cena would if he was gonna. And also, like, no offense to the video was great, but like, I feel like if John Cena was announcing the birth of his child, it would have been a little bit more energetic than that. You know what I mean? I don't think he'd have posted an 8, like, it wouldn't have been a 10-second, like, my son's name, welcome to the world, your time is now. Like, I'd have been like, I feel like it would have been a little bit more than that if it would have been his own son.
Exactly. But that's the thing, man. It's like people, they just find little reasons to come at us. And I'm like, you guys are so stupid.
Now, to play devil's advocate, I will say, if people, like, let's say the video gets on the FYP, the For You page, for the people who don't know what that means. People that don't know you, like, personally, they wouldn't know who you are. So I guess those people, if they're not.
But even in the video, he's literally saying, Theodore Caden Wells.
Yeah, now, but like,
welcome
I guess
to the world. Your time is now. Where in the hell in that video does he say, ladies and gentlemen, I have a son and his name is
No,
this?
he doesn't. Now, if he would have said, I feel like it would have been avoided if John would have been like, hey guys, this is John Cena. I'm here with Kyle Wells, welcoming his new son, Theodore Caden Wells, into the world. But nowhere in the video does he ever name drop you specifically. So I guess that could leave the door open for the uninitiated to think.
You just have to be really stupid to not understand what's going on in that video. But by the way, did you pick up on the initials for my son?
Yes.
TKW. How about that?
You're an egomaniac. How did you slip that one in?
That was my wife. That was all Ashley. She came up with that idea because I had been pitching for months, can we name our son Cena? Can we name our son Cena? And she's like, no,
Thank God that
no,
didn't happen. I applaud
no.
her for that.
So she came up with that idea, pitched it to me, and I absolutely just fell in love with it because Theodore is gift from God. It's a very strong name. And of course, we're going to call him Theo. And he's got many different options the older he gets, what he wants to go by. But
I'm going to mess with you and call him Teddy just for the fun of it.
I told my wife, I said,
I'm going to be like, what up, Ted?
Teddy is reserved for his future girlfriends. I can already see it now. They're going to call him Teddy. And she goes, let's slow down. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. He's not going to have girlfriends for a very long time. And I said,
now I'm going to be honest though. And this is coming from someone who has, a strong middle name. I could see him wanting to be called Caden when he's older.
Caden is a badass name.
Caden's a cool name.
He in a way, he would pull a me because my middle name for the longest time was Kyle until I got it legally changed. Mm-hmm. So but here's the thing. We are going to call him by his first name. And then we'll let him decide later on in life if he wants to go by his first name or his middle name. But dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a dad. I don't know if you can see it on my face, but I am running on hardly any sleep.
Yes, I can tell.
Ever since my son was born, the lack of sleep that I have, it's just a game changer, man. It's a life changer. But I got a badass wife and a great support system with my family. We're doing the damn thing. So, and I just want to say thank you to everybody out there who has reached out and congratulated and has checked in on my wife and I and our son. It means everything to me. So try not to get too emotional. I've been finding myself getting more and more emotional since he has gotten here.
If you start crying, I'm getting off.
You'll appreciate this. So one thing that I do is I try to make sure that Ashley gets plenty of sleep because, she's breastfeeding. So she has to wake up every so often to feed our son. And then I'm learning to feed him with the bottle. So we're getting the hang of it. Well, when Ashley's sleeping, it's just me and Theo, and I'll play him old WWE PLEs. Like I'll let him watch it until he falls asleep. And then I will play him music. You want to know what song hits different now that I'm a dad, Payton? And you'll appreciate the song.
What is it?
You'll Be in My Heart by Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah. Dude. I'm literally just coming off of a Disney high. So, yeah, of course.
That song, I played that song for him the other day, and I was just emotional. Like I was just crying, and I'm like, dude, keep it together. But so what happens now, man, every little thing is going to be hitting me different than it ever hit me before. This is you'll appreciate this. It's the greatest title. It's the greatest championship that I will ever have in my life is being a dad.
You really want to get hit different. Go back and watch The Lion King now. And watch the scenes between Mufasa and Simba.
Yeah. I was actually telling Ashley that I said, I can't wait to watch Disney movies with him. And that was the first movie that I mentioned. I said, when we watch Lion King for the first time, dude, waterworks. It is going to be just, So anyways, thank you all. Thank you all so much for reaching out to me. And Payton, thank you for taking the time to jump on this impromptu episode of WellsMania Podcast because, now that I'm a dad, things are going to be a little slower once I get the hang of it and the timing down right. I'll try to pop on here as much as possible, but do plan on doing a Survivor Series prediction show with you here in a couple of weeks for War Games. We'll bring you on and maybe get Jared on and maybe somebody else will come join us. But is there anything else that you want to throw out there before we go home here?
Just because I'm so fresh off of it, I literally right before we jumped off here, I got done watching The Smashing Machine, obviously starring The Rock, where he played former MMA fighter Mark Kerr, and I thought it was amazing. I thought Rock's performance in it was fantastic. I thought that he definitely should be up for best actor. I thought he did a wonderful job. Obviously the movie didn't do that well at the box office, but let's be real, none of the movies that are up for an Oscar ever do that well at the box office.
Right.
So, but highly recommend it. Do you know Mark Kerr at all? Are you a big UFC MMA guy?
So I didn't know who he was until I did some research on him, and he's the story, man. I can't wait to see the movie. I've yet to see it, but just from the clips and the interviews that I've seen of The Rock and Mark Kerr and other people talk about it, it sounds like a really just phenomenal story. And I can't wait to see The Rock's portrayal of Mark Kerr in the Smashing Machine. And you said you can buy it on Amazon now. Is that what you told me earlier?
Yep. It's available for rent on Amazon Prime, which is where I got it. It's like $20. You know, it's typical.
It's not too bad.
Typical movie rental. But no, I highly recommend it. It's great. I'll tell you what, Dwayne looks just like Mark Kerr. I don't know, like pull up when you're watching it.
Yeah.
Pull up a side by side of like what Mark Kerr looked like back in the day, and you'll be like, Jesus Christ, it's identical.
They even said his mannerisms were down to a T.
It is his voice. And then go listen to interviews where Mark Kerr talks, and you'll be like, Dwayne's got this on lock.
Yeah.
Like it is pretty good work.
No, I'll be definitely checking out the Smashing Machine. There was one thing I wanted to show you, Payton. I don't know if you saw my TikTok before we officially go home here, but check this out, dude. I got the limited edition Hulkamania Forever Real American beer. They sent me a care package, and I just wanted to take this time to promote them. The Real American Beer Hulkamania Forever limited edition gold can. This thing rules. Hulk rules, brother. I mean, look at that, Payton.
That's awesome.
This is so good. So good.
Another free sample.
Another free sample.
I might have to apply for that one.
Dude, you should DM them. Tell them that you're, friends with WellsMania, and you would like to receive a, care package. And they sent me a koozie. They sent me some bumper stickers. Dude, people love when you advertise and promote their stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've got, look at this, dude. I've got so many other things that I've yet to open. Like, I'll get to it. I'll eventually get to it. But I just wanted to give Real American Beer a shout out before we officially go home. So Payton, go ahead and promote all your social medias.
You can find me on X and TikTok and Instagram at Stone Payne Productions. Go hit the follow button. I'm getting close to that 12K mark on TikTok. I believe I'm at like 11.7 now. So
nice.
We're getting there. We're getting to the 12K mark, and then it's on the road to the teens. I feel like we're going to be graduating that preteen category here pretty soon. But no, yep, Stone Payne Productions. It's all the same on all three different sites.
And submit your requests for the free samples, and I look forward to seeing those TikTok videos.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Payton, and thank you all once again for congratulating my wife and I on the birth of our son, Theodore Caden Wells, and thank you to John Cena for the very genuine, gracious video that he cut for me and my son. Me more now than my son, but later on down the road, I will show that to him. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, episodes of WellsMania Podcast they'll be there. Okay. I'm off the rest of the year. I'm on paternity leave. So just be patient. And thank you all for reaching out, asking, when's the new episode going to drop? When are you going to give us an update on your kid? Here it is. I'm a man of the people. So it's what I do for all of you. So for Payton Payne, for WellsMania, thank you guys so much for running wild. Until next episode, take care, stay positive, run wild, and dominate the day.